back to Monday Night Football, where Soccer Town comes to you. Yeah, Todd, you okay?
What?
You trying to block out the haters, or you just blocking me out?
Blocking the hate, blocking you out. Chio's not here. I was like, pretty much the earth went black today.
Those are old. Eclipse 2017.
Man, these
Oregon.
These are older than some of our players out there, man.
Oh man. So I am back. Want to say a big thank you to Roy Alvaron for filling in for me last week.
He did an admirable job, man. He did a great job.
I want to make some clarifications about some things that he said on the show last week. So yes, I almost did hit a hole-in-one. I was 6 inches from the cup. And no, let's correct that. It was not a 9-iron. It was a 7-iron from about 165 yards out. So we got to enjoy that. My wife was like, "Oh my God, is it good?" Like she was even shaking because she thought it almost went in. But when we got there, it was literally 6 inches away. We were able to get some golf down Lake Buena Vista Golf Course. That's why we got the Donald Duck right here. This came from the Disney store.
Nice. They needed more money. I'm glad you got that.
We, soccer related, was able to watch a soccer game. Me and my wife's our anniversary fell on Saturday.
Speaking of which, let's put that photo up there.
There is a photo, sport. Look at those Mexico uniforms.
Clemencia, put that up for us.
Yeah, that's some new Mexico gear right there. That's our fifth.
And so who won that game? They played
Colombia won. I don't think Mexico had all their starters from the original game that beat the U.S.
Well, happy anniversary.
Well, thank you. There wasn't much going on in soccer, right? But can we, I guess we need to go to the Off the Link scoreboard.
Let's go to the scoreboard. I don't. Did anybody play last week?
Well, there was a champion last week.
There was. Here we go. Southeast was busy getting on the board.
Yeah.
A draw with Edmond North out of Oklahoma.
So I'm wondering about that draw because it's 0-0, but look at the other two games they dominated. I'm wondering if they drove up that day and then they just had to go out there and play.
I will say this. I saw the Raider Rage bus in Cleveland, Tennessee when I was out doing my errands last Thursday, and it was all I could do to not roll down the window and give them a shout. So, they had safe travels up there and back. And then on the next day, they pull out the 2-0 win over Grissom, Alabama. And then they top it off with that 6-0 win, or 6-1 win over Greenville, and that gave them the Smoky Mountain Cup championship. We got some highlights from that a little later.
And then Southeast girls losing to Stars Mill, which 7-0. But that is, you got to go down. That is going down to Noonan, Georgia, to play a tough. Stars Mill is.
And here's the thing about spring break games. You never know who's there and who's not there in the situation. And, me and Roy talked about this last week about, the conundrum about spring break games. Do you play? Do you give your players a chance to rest, or do you try to keep the momentum you got going? Roy was on the side of keeping momentum.
Yes. Southeast boys kept the momentum. So think about it. They went down. They played 3 games.
Yeah.
They started out the season 0-4. Yeah. And now they've gone on a 12-game unbeaten streak with a tie. They're 11-4-1 with another game this week, that's why it makes this the greatest week for me. I love this week. It's the greatest week of all. Not because of El Clasico, it's because it's Masters Week.
I'm not into the golf thing, so he goes out on his own when he starts talking about golf.
Well, I'll be there actually. Me and my wife will be there tomorrow and Wednesday. Right. So.
Wow.
Yes.
So tomorrow and when?
Wednesday.
All right. So you'll be back for the games later this week.
Yes.
All right. Good deal.
But I don't know. We had to fill it. So we just threw everything in. Like I said, thank you for Roy. Chio, we miss you. Hopefully you come back one day this year before the season's over.
We want you to at least beat Manny Mays' appearance record.
Yes.
It's not hard.
2. With that, we'll go to commercial break and we'll come back. We'll have more Monday Night Football.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey,
that's our part.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh, yes, you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
I'm Waylon. I live in Dalton, and I'm the owner of Elite Lineman Training Institute.
And I'm Mitch Sanford with Biltwell Bank.
When I left Georgia Power to start my own business, I met with Mitch and told him what we were doing.
I told Waylon, you're the kind of business we want to work with.
We have a very high standard for how we work as a company and especially how we treat our clients. After a very candid conversation with Mitch, we knew we were on the same page.
Today, we're working on several businesses, training and real estate.
Because they do the heavy lifting, so I can focus on my business. My bank is built well.
Hey, and welcome back to Monday Night Football. And I don't know if Juan said the catch line where Soccer Town USA comes to you.
I did say that.
I couldn't see, and apparently these limited my hearing too, so I'm not sure what he said. So, Juan, when we left off, we were talking about like Southeast going up to the Smoky Mountain Cup. Seems like we've been talking a lot of Southeast lately. I think it's just kind of how it's worked out. But they went up to the Smoky Mountain Cup, had 3 games, come back with a draw, 2 wins. They win the Smoky Mountain Cup. One of the interesting things about that is it did include an opponent that put them out of the state tournament last year in Westminster. And Westminster got second place in that
just by goal differential.
Yeah, so they didn't play each other, but at the same time, I think it's always good to come out on top when you get the chance. With any luck, man, I would love for this Southeast team to get another shot at Westminster this year because I think that team really wants to make atonement for unfinished business from last year.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at I'm already looking to the future. Obviously, they play the
Futurecast.
Let's just go. So, state rankings, they're number 7. Finally got ranked. We'll show that later in this clip.
Yeah.
But they're currently obviously the number 1 team in Region 7 out of 4A. They're going to play the number 4 team out of that one, which I think is going to be Holy Innocents. They're the number 4 team. Northwest is ranked number 3 seed. They're going to play the number 2 team, which is Druid Clarkston.
Okay.
Westminster's number 1. Westminster would be on the other side of the bracket.
So, I mean, you're talking about like that's already not an easy draw for Northwest.
Yeah.
Coming out as a number 2 seed.
And that means 3 seed.
Or as a 3 seed.
Because then the number 2 seed is Cedartown. They would be playing at Druid Hills. So Southeast would play home. If they win, they would either play the winner of Woodland from Stockbridge. They're the number 3 seed. They're either going to play a 2 seed or a 3 seed in the second round if they're able to get out of the first round. So they're the hot team right now. I know you got some things going on later on, but I won't give away right now. But they're right in this win streak, and I think what is overshadowed or maybe overlooked is at the beginning of the season they were injured. Mm-hmm. They weren't at full strength. They go down 0-4.
And they had some players definitely playing out of position to cover for the injuries. And Garcia talked to us about, and he told us that, but, a lot of coaches will say a lot of things when the results aren't getting on the board, so you just kind of have to wait. But, what he said is panned out. He got his players back, he got his system in, moved people around and where he wanted to begin with, and then things started to click and the results started to come around. And even when things got tough, right, and I mean, I think back to the TDA game that, they really did have to grind out the result in that game. And maybe on another occasion, they've gotten the result. It wasn't always gorgeous, just like in that game, but they got the job done, and that's what you're looking for.
They've gotten it done, and Pena is on a goal-scoring tear.
Yeah,
Joseph Pena.
Jaro's been looking good. All the guys that you want to look good. Cordoba's looked good in goal.
Ish Pimentel, an unsung hero, coming back and playing good. So from those 2 years of being inactive and injured,
it's crazy.
So
story.
now it's all going to come down. They got to keep the winning streak alive, and to do that, they got to go play Dalton.
Oh, well,
and that is a game that's lined up this Friday night at Harmon Field. El Clásico, Part 2. We know how the first one ended. Dalton won 3-0.
Handily.
At Southeast.
Let's just call it what it was.
Obviously, the Dalton team that played then is totally different from the Dalton team that is playing now. This Dalton team, I mean, let's just say it the way it is. It's not been your juggernaut that you're typically used to seeing year in and year out. They've had to grind out some wins.
Yes, they've grind out wins too. Like, they're doing what it takes to get it done, and that's a sign of a good team. Like, they are. I think this team takes a very workmanlike approach to every game. They may not have the 30-goal scorer this year. Well, so what? Somebody is going to produce the goods somewhere, and they're going to get it done. And they keep doing that. And
so what are, before we go on the girls, what are the keys for that game? What is the key for Southeast in that game?
The key for Southeast is it's mental for them. The mental space has to be right for Southeast. You can't go into that game, and you see it so many times, even on bigger stages, right, where there's a team that because they've gotten owned for a few, like the past 4 or 5 times.
Well, the last year, because the years before that are all ties. So really.
But for the past 3 times they've played, it's not been really competitive.
No.
So you got to get out of that mental headspace, right, where you're going out there and you're already defeated. So you carry these wins with you, you pull from experience, and you know what? If you go down early in the game, you got to get it out of your head immediately, and you got to get back to it and start, because it's a long game. And
what about Dalton?
You might not can win it in the first few minutes, but mentally you can lose it.
And what's the key for Dalton?
Dalton, to me, it's just like up the pressure. You know what's broken this team in the past, and you have to keep pushing those same buttons to see if Southeast will break in the same way. High pressure, push them, force them, counter quickly, and with absolute precision. Because to me, those are the things where you're going to test the Southeast. You're going to test them mentally to see if they're ready for it.
And the girls' side, they just played. We got a little over a minute left. The girls just played. They played to a draw the first go-around. What is the key for Southeast girls?
To me, when you have a draw that comes out that's like this and you're so evenly matched across the board, I'm not going to put this either side. The key is not going to be on the players. I think the keys are going to be on the coaches and the adjustments they make from game 1 to game 2. Because clearly it was a stalemate on the field for the most part. So what changes are Almondova going to make? What changes are Close going to make? And, or do they just play it close to their vest and make changes at the half?
My one key, one name, America. So all you need to know, how America goes is how this game's going to go.
Okay.
She did outstanding last game, saved 2 breakaways. If not, it could have been easily a 3-1, 2-1. So the key is going to be America, and also Southeast girls not to get caught up in the reffing and just play their game and just let the refs call it and just go without it. They got in their head a little bit. But with that, we'll go to commercial break, and we'll come back. We'll have more Monday Night Football.
We provide an excellent service for individuals who've had catastrophic injury cases, people who've had injuries that are going to last them, unfortunately, for the rest of their life. Being there for a person, being there to actually see them get better, that is what this field is all about. That's what we're really striving to do, and that's what we think we provide. You still have to have that empathy for the person so you can tell their story to the jury. At the end of the day, that's where your case is heard.
Has a recent storm damaged the roof of your home? Altman Roofing has been restoring homes since 1984. In Dalton alone, over 2,000 roofs have been replaced by Altman. Altman Roofing will also work with your insurance claim. For a free 15-minute estimate for roofing, siding, or gutters, call 706-529-8136 or visit altmanroofing.com. You can also see their professional work on Facebook.
Thank you.
Thank you, North Georgia. Gracias, North Georgia.
We appreciate you, North Georgia.
I'm C-Mark.
I'm John Moore.
Well, I think Georgia Bulldogs, we're number one.
Thank you, North Georgia, for voting us number one 6 years in a row.
If you're hurt and want the best,
Give us a call. We'll do the rest.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football,
Oh,
where Soccer Town USA comes to you. Now we're going to switch tables a little bit here. We're going to start talking about the cups. There's a couple cups that are in action this week. One is the Fort Mountain Cup, and another one obviously is the Soccer City Cup on the boys' side.
Yeah. So we didn't even mention that at the end of El Clasico this week is also going to be the de facto Soccer City Cup final because of how the schedule played out.
Yes.
So,
and if I didn't, and yeah, you're right. It's going to schedule out.
It's essentially this is a final.
This is the final. This is the final. Southeast, all they need is a draw or a win, and they take the cup home. If they end up in a draw, then the cup goes to Southeast for the first time in 3 years that this cup has been in existence. Dalton has to go for the win. Yeah. They've got to seek the win. If they win, they retain the cup. But if they get a draw or they lose the cup for the first time.
And something we haven't talked about is I don't know if we've ever been in a scenario, right, where these coaches, where a draw is something that they might actually go for, given, if Southeast, if it's a draw with 15 minutes to go in the game, does Garcia go defensive and to win the cup? Or does he go for the win because maybe they're, looking like they could push for a win? Because let's face it.
You know what?
Mentally, they're two different things. One gets you the cup.
I will say this. I mean, I did see, if I'm not mistaken, on one of his social media platforms, Garcia posted 2 trophies down, 2 more to go. It took me a second to figure out what it was, and I'm like, oh, so he knows about the Soccer City Cup.
Of course.
And he's also talking about state championship. So they've already locked down a region championship. They locked down the Smoky Mountain championship. That's 2 cups.
Let's don't be naive, okay? If there's a trophy to play for, coaches know about it, players know about it. It's not.
So going back to what you said, if he's at a draw, I think he will sit back and if 15, 10 minutes in the game, I think he would try to play with that draw. Now, knowing the way Dalton plays and the way they're attacking, they're going to try to go for the win because obviously
they have to.
They're going to want the cup. But let's just say this El Clasico has got a lot living up for. In the past years, when we got into it, Dalton's always been up by goal differential, even though they've been undefeated. It was the goal differential. We knew that there wasn't going to be a way for Southeast to
anybody else.
To make that gap up. On the girls' side, the Soccer City Cup's already been wrapped.
So the girls, the Dalton Southeast girls will be siding second and third.
Yes, second, third. So. Which is still bragging rights because Northwest already taken it, but still going to be bragging rights for the girls.
Between the 2, yeah.
Plus, they want to know each other. That way, when they're at Bell's practice, because I saw that there's a post going on NHL Bell's in the Wild on that. But another cup.
Yeah.
That we want to talk about.
Fort Mountain?
Which we renamed it last year, the Fort Mountain Cup.
Yeah. So.
And I think you may have gotten a text. I think a coach may have been confused that they'd already won the cup.
So the Fort Mountain Cup is Murray, North Murray. So we're only counting 1 game. Last year we did home and away for both, but it got really difficult because of the way they're both region opponents. So we could have ended up with a draw and getting some real
PKs and then
so we just went to 1 game this year.
Make it easier.
The last game each year. So next year we'll be back at Murray, the last game of the year. But this Thursday night, it's going to be at North Murray for all the marbles. One of the coaches texted me and I think they were confused about the format, but it will be all decided Thursday night at North Murray. The holders on both sides are Murray
County, which is surprising.
It is.
Last year, you would have thought it would have been North Murray. They had a way better team, way better on both the girls' side and men.
If you looked on paper,
yes,
you would have thought that it was. Technical difficulties. Sorry, Quincy, that's my fault.
But it's good while he's over there. So last year, if you looked on paper, you would have seen that it was North Murray that should have taken it. But Murray County came down, they gutted it out, they went. This year, Murray County's coming in defending champs. They have the opportunity to bring it home at North Murray. So there's going to be at a
they just
hostile
played
environment.
And they just played 2 weeks ago, right? North
And
Murray
Murray
loses out on the boys' side in PKs. Like, what a gutting way to go out. So you're crazy if you think it's going to go down at Murray County and they're just not going to spill blood out on the field to make sure that they get that final win of the year. Also, that may be a deciding factor on who goes to the playoffs and who stays at home.
For both the boys and girls?
I know on the boys for sure.
Okay.
And then on the girls' side, Murray County won the first matchup.
And I think North Murray's sitting on the outside end, so we'd have to go back and look at that. So, but look, there's some great soccer to be played. You need to go cheer on, watch some of these teams.
Get out there Thursday and Friday night. Like Friday night. Now, do we know if Georgia Tacos is going to be there Friday night? Do we know? Is Millie? Okay, so I do know this. Ambridge runs the concession stand at North Murray.
Okay.
And he always has tacos at his concession stand.
I think,
and he has pizza.
I'm going to go out on a limb. When does Dawn Academy play?
I do not know.
Because Dawn Academy plays, typically that's when they're playing North.
Oh, you're trying to figure out the Georgia Tacos schedule?
Yeah, but Dawn Academy's playing at Northwest. So never mind. So Dawn Academy's playing at Northwest. So that means I would say Georgia Tacos would be there. But we'll have to wait and see.
It depends on what they've worked out with the band.
And since we're talking about Dalton Academy, yes, they have played Dalton. Yes, they have played Northwest. Yes, they played Southeast.
They still got to play Northwest.
Or they got to play Northwest. The reason Dalton Academy boys are not in the conversation for Soccer City Cup is there's one team that they don't play. So the Cup is, we get the teams that play each other. That way we can get it. So there's one team that Dalton Academy does not play. You can go figure it out. Who is it that they don't play? If you want them to be included, then somehow, powers and bees, you got to make it happen. We don't control that. We don't know if it's a win-win situation.
You got to sit down at the table.
So, but
agreement.
Let's just say, if you want them, I know I'm looking at you, Vanessa Vasquez, because you asked before, why is it Dawn Academy? Anna Ortega, why is it Dawn Academy? Look, got to go talk to the other coaches and make sure it happens.
We don't have that pull.
We're going to go to commercial break, and when we're back, we're going to talk about some Eclipse.
My car looks totally ruined. I don't even know what to do.
Locally owned Dalton Collision Center is the only choice when it comes to all of your auto body and refinish needs. Our experienced staff provides quality work from start to finish, will help with your claim, and even assist with getting your rental car. Everything from A to Z.
So you can focus on life, we can focus on getting you there.
We provide an excellent service for individuals who've had catastrophic injury cases. People who've had injuries that are going to last them, unfortunately, for the rest of their life. Being there for a person, being there to actually see them get better, that is what this field is all about. That's what we're really striving to do, and that's what we think we provide. You still have to have that empathy for the person so you can tell their story to the jury. At the end of the day, that's where your case is heard.
This year, Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty is proudly commemorating our 50th anniversary, and what a journey it has been. For 5 decades, Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty has been the heartbeat of real estate in Northwest Georgia.
We've had the privilege of helping thousands of homeowners with their real estate transactions. Thank you, Dalton and Northwest Georgia.
Whether you're buying, selling, or expanding your business, trust the experience that comes with 50 years of excellence. Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Cartersville, Ringgold, and Cleveland, Tennessee.
Hey, welcome back to Monday Night Football. As you can see, we are
blessed with Belle Azua. She wanted to, brought us a little treat, at school. What did y'all have today at school?
Solar Eclipse, the donut.
And what is a Solar Eclipse donut?
So it was technically a cookies and cream frosted with an Oreo on top donut.
Cookies and cream frosted, and what was the rest of it?
and Oreo on top.
And with an Oreo on top. All
So
right. Sounds pretty good.
So we went to go find some. They were out. They were sold out by 11 o'clock this morning. So we got the next best thing. We decided to get some chocolate-covered donuts. So Todd, grab you one. Enjoy it.
Okay, yep. Did you get shades? Did you get shades at school?
She got some shades at school
All
today.
right,
So
let's go.
All right, you can get you one too, and then you can walk yourself. All right.
Nice.
All right, love you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So the reason we're talking about
eat on
this
there.
right here is, Todd, what is these next two segments called?
All right, so I was inspired this morning by the eclipse, and I was thinking, the sun always like steals all the shine right from the moon, but not today, right? So the moon got all the all the
hype.
attention.
Yeah, all the attention.
So it got to me thinking, who on the field is like doing the dirty work, is doing the work behind the scenes, and is just maybe not getting the shine that they ought to get. So I messaged the coaches and I told them to give me a player, and I had a lot of the coaches respond. So I just want to read you some of the players and some of the responses. And this is straight from the coaches. And to read this, I'm going to have to take these off because they're ridiculous. I'm tired of wearing them. So anyway, Belle, thank you for the donut. That was amazing. So first off, and I'm going to be reading straight from the text, so I want you guys to know, this is the real deal, what these coaches are saying. And I want to start up at Coahulla Creek. And when you think about Coahulla Creek, you think Cruz, you think
Marcenas.
Right, so you think some of these guys, but the one Coley wanted, the one that Jacobo wanted to say was, I'm trying, now I'm off, I'll get it. Well, it was Miggy. It was Miggy Arredondo, okay? And so let me find what he had to say about Miggy. Yeah, I know. I'm messing up here. Here we go. It says, although he had a crazy, outstanding freshman year, getting the player of the match for the state final as a goalie, this season, as a senior, he has been working the midfield as a captain, leading with assists and building up the team with his character. Now, I interviewed Miggy last year. Outstanding young man, kept himself composed in front of the camera, which we all know is hard, but also he's a grinder and a worker in the midfield as well, and he does a great job. So there's some shout.
And another shout out I'll go ahead and give out is Nate Vasquez. Nate, starting forward, he was out earlier middle of the season through some injuries. He came back, but he holds that top line for them. Makes plays like a true nine back to the goal, and to help spring the wide forwards out. So I want to give Nate Vasquez a shout out on that.
All right, and so let's move on to Christian Heritage. I messaged John Eric Bolger, who always gives a very thorough answer. And he said, he would say all the starters, they're all inheralded players, Taylor Hare, Sarah Beth Johnson, Addison Williams, because they just don't have that deep of a bench. So of those three, I would like to choose Taylor Hare. Like nearly all of our 20 players, age is never, or she has never played soccer outside of her school, and this is her first year playing any soccer. She competes, she is tough, fast, she is a great teammate. So there you go. So I just want to point out the fact that, a lot of the times, just because you're not getting the love on the show because you're not scoring 30 goals, your coaches are noticing the impact that you guys are having on your other players. And they know, if you take you away, your top players aren't able to perform at that level, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the old, if you took Miggy away from Joseph Martinez, did Joseph Martinez score 30 goals?
No, and he did score, I think, but not as he wasn't as proficient as he was.
Yeah, it's just you gotta have somebody creating and somebody underneath doing the dirty work. Who was doing the dirty work for Atlanta United that year? Do you remember?
Yeah, it would be Miggy. So what about, did Coach Boyd come back and say anything?
I've not had a.
So who would you say on the boys' side for Christian Heritage?
Oh, it's Cruz. It's Manny, their goalkeeper. Is it Manny?
Yes.
Yeah, their goalkeeper. And they said as much. They had an appreciation post, basically, and the guy hasn't even seen the field this year. And it's because of how he carries himself on and off the field. He still makes himself a part of the team. Mm-hmm. His presence felt and supports that team. In a year where they lost so much leadership in last year, he's still stepping up and stepping in and making an impact where he can.
Yes, he is.
And so that's just one of those things man, maybe you can't get on the field because of injury. Maybe you can't do this or that. But what you can do is give the best version of yourself out there to help your team win, which is what it's about.
And who we got next?
Let's see here. I'm having to go through these. Let's go. Let's go to your guy, Coach Almadova.
So he did text because I know he was out in Las Vegas.
All right. So do you know who he picked?
I don't.
All right. He picked Jennifer Enriquez. She's a sweeper.
Okay.
And he says she's the glue that holds our defense together. Wow, that says a lot right there. Our defense as a whole has only given up 7 goals so far this season. In region play, our defense hasn't allowed a goal in 2 years. She's smart. She's a smart player on the field and in the classroom. We're very lucky to have her on the team.
And that's Jennifer Enriquez. Give yourself a pat on the back, or as we say, hey, those are your flowers right there.
Are we going to start doing
flowers? All right.
I thought we were going to start doing the
And did Coach Cheeves, I think you said, while you look for that, I want to say that he said Darwin Pinado. And Darwin Pinado has been a key cog, but you know, you've got actual
Yeah,
garbage.
so he did respond. Hey, we're always stoked to get a response from
Coach Cheeves.
Coach Cheeves, yeah. So Darwin, he says, Darwin is a big part of our team. Very talented and does a lot of hard work required for the team to be successful. He is very versatile. He has been a starter at left wing, but he often gets moved around and he is capable of playing any position on the field. What a compliment. He frequently gets used at the left or right back. He has also been needed at center mid this season. He scored the first goal against Johnson this season, in which we all know that was a huge win for Dalton. Wow, what a great compliment for Coach Cheeves to Darwin there.
And with that, we're going to get ready to go to commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have more Eclipse special.
Handing out flowers.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
I'm Waylon. I live in Dalton and I'm the owner of Elite Lineman Training Institute.
And I'm Mitch Sanford with Futbol Bank.
When I left Georgia Power to start my own business, I met with Mitch and told him what we were doing.
I told Waylon, you're the kind of business we want to work with.
We have a very high standard for how we work as a company and especially how we treat our clients. After a very candid conversation with Mitch, we knew we were on the same page.
Today, we're working on several businesses, training and real estate.
Because they do the heavy lifting, so I can focus on my business. My bank is built well.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football, where Soccertown USA comes to you. And we're coming back to the Eclipse special. Todd.
Just call us florists because we're handing out flowers.
Handing out flowers. We've already discussed Creek.
I don't know. What does this mean, flowers?
I don't know. I think it's money. It is money.
And then
it's the Johnny Manziel. It's the Johnny Manziel.
Yeah. This.
So, but now we're going to go to Southeast. I think you have a comment from Coach Miguel Garcia.
Yes. So he wants to, once again, we're going to players that don't normally get the shine. Just like the Eclipse today, and so we're putting some shine on these guys. He picked Emmanuel Gonzalez, who has gotten a few stars, but typically is my first sub off the bench. I've had a few coaches tell me how impressed they are that our team doesn't let down after we sub in. He is the primary reason why. If we had a 12th man award, he would be the top candidate. Wow. I mean, so, you think about how I don't know, I guess what a luxury it is for Garcia to have a guy that he can put in, that there's no drop in talent whatsoever. He can use him at a number of positions, and that allows a coach such flexibility in making decisions. I don't know if that can truly be appreciated by the player, I consider myself a utility man at work, and I know that when you're that guy, it can be stressful. But this, obviously Emmanuel goes in, does the job to the point where even other coaches notice it.
All right, and sorry, I just got a confirmation that breaking news.
Is this a Masters comment?
No, this is breaking news that Georgia Tacos will be at Harmon Field on Friday night to serve you for anyone that's hungry and needs to grab dinner. So Todd just got those confirmation that Georgia Tacos will be coming to you on Friday night.
And I'll be going to Georgia Tacos. Get excited.
All right, I am. So who we going with next, Matt?
It's El Clasico. We're freaking deciding Soccer City Cup. There'll be
I'll get more excited when we talk in the next.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
All right, so going back to our Eclipse special, let's go to let's jump across the river. Let's go to North Murray. Remember, Fort Mountain Cup will be Thursday night. So let's talk about Matt Chambers. He wants to talk about Giovanni Robles. He is our center back. He's quiet, but man, he works hard and comes up with the big tackles. The man will slide tackle anyone. Great kid. So basically, this is a kid who will run through a brick wall for you. Like, this is a guy you want on your back line leading your players. Like, you got to have a guy like
that. And I love that last name, Robles. There's a place in Chatsworth called Taco Robles. If you've not been there, please go check that. Have you had the stuff at Taco Robles?
I have not.
You think Georgia Tacos? Taco
Easy. You're going to start a taco war.
Well,
by the way, why don't we have a taco war?
We're trying to work on a taco trail, but that's still in the works. But Taco Robles, if you haven't had a chance, did we get anything from the girls' side?
You go across the river, go see them. So on the girls' side, I was unable to get it. I think there was some technical difficulties.
Okay.
My text not going through to Ambrose. I think he's on the, I don't think he uses an iPhone. I don't want to call him out, but I don't think he uses an iPhone.
I think he's an Android guy.
Yikes. All right. So, however.
What about Murray County?
Yeah. So I did talk to Coach Plemons. So Coach Plemons, she's really amped about this week to the point she thought they'd already won the trophy.
But it's okay, Plemons got one more game.
Yeah, one more
game.
So she recognizes Jocelyn Gutierrez. She is a junior who always puts her heart into everything. She plays outside defense for us and picks up the slack when necessary. She doesn't complain, never asks to be taken out of the game. I mean, to me, this is a common theme of the I guess the qualities they're looking for. They're looking for people who does what the coach says, gives it their all, never asks questions, and just goes out and takes care of business.
Yes, sir.
And these are the guys that are coachable, and coaches love these kind of players. All right, so let's head over to TDA. All right, so give me just a second.
While we wait on TDA.
Yeah, sorry to say, you feel the time here.
Let's just talk about the boys a little bit. They've already clinched region. They've already clinched they've clinched 3 region championships in a row. Keep in mind, they've only been in existence for 3 years, so that is a huge accomplishment. They have not lost region at all in their 3 years of existence.
Hey, if you're going to come out, just come out and dominate.
Let's go.
All right, start on the boys' side. Coach Griffith said he would definitely be Giovanni Nolasco. He's my senior center back. He came to TDA 2 years ago with very few credits and has worked for those 2 years to get eligible to play and on track to graduate. He is calm, composed, never rattled, and is the most technically skilled center back I've ever coached. An overall excellent young man and integral piece of our defense and team overall. And I'll tell you what he also told me on another meeting. He is the reason that they have been able to play and change the way they play because out of the back, he can handle the ball at his feet, he can distribute, and he can be trusted with the ball. That says a lot when your one position is able to change how an entire team like TDA plays because they were already a handful.
And what I liked about that is he talked about this in the classroom. He did everything he could to make himself have the credits because obviously transferred in, didn't have enough credits to be eligible to play, but he's worked his tail off. And now look at him. He's able to play with his classmates and will be graduating on time, which is very hard to say, So, hey, big shout out to you right there because that takes a lot of work.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this show's about soccer, but it's about you guys, it's about y'all graduating, it's about stories like that where people are putting in the time and the work and getting it done.
All right, what about Coach Jacobo?
Coach Jacobo at TDA. So for his girls, he's picking Shanna Lucas. Moved to our school this year to play soccer specifically, and she was a blessing. She is 5 foot something. In other words, that means barely 5 feet, if that. freshman playing varsity, starter goalie with maybe 1 year of experience under Coach Clemens and Coach Pinedo from Valley Point Middle School. She learned faster than any goalie and really took the part of leader and a great starter goalie within 1 season. We are excited for her future as a Lady Puma. Wow. Hashtag, she got hops now. Wow. She's got hops?
You know what? I will get, the other undertone story is TDA's social media pages. They be putting out on the girls' side, they be putting out some top quality stuff.
It's always good.
But we're coming up with, a few more seconds before we go on our next segment. I want to give a clip special to our production. Clemencia, always keep us on our toes. So thank you, Clemencia, and everybody in the back that y'all don't see. With that, we're going to commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more Monday Night Football.
We provide an excellent service for individuals who've had catastrophic injury cases, people who've had injuries that are going to last them, unfortunately, for the rest of their life. Being there for a person, being there to actually see them get better, that is what this field is all about. That's what we're really striving to do, and that's what we think we provide. You still have to have that empathy for the person so you can tell their story to the jury. At the end of the day, that's where your case is heard.
Has a recent storm damaged the roof of your home? Altman Roofing has been restoring homes since 1984. In Dalton alone, over 2,000 roofs have been replaced by Altman. Altman Roofing will also work with your insurance claim. For a free 15-minute estimate for roofing, siding, or gutters, call 706-529-8136 or visit altmanroofing.com. You can also see their professional work on Facebook.
Thank you.
Thank you, North Georgia.
Gracias, North Georgia.
We appreciate you, North Georgia.
I'm C-Mark. I'm John Moore. Like the Georgia Bulldogs, we're number one.
Thank you, North Georgia, for voting us number one 6 years in a row.
If you're hurt and want the best,
give us a call. We'll do the rest.
Hey, welcome back to Monday Night Football, the 2024 Eclipse Special.
Yes.
I don't know if it's an
And we were only going to make this 2 segments, but while we're at commercial break, we had a couple more coaches.
That's right.
Sandyville still could get in some players. So now we're going to pivot into giving some more flowers, some more shine. To
going back across the river
to
Murray County.
Murray County.
Coach Brian McBriar on the boys' side.
Okay.
Once again, Fort Mountain Cup, Friday night at North Murray. Be there. There will be tacos and stuff. All right, so he nominates for his player, Danny Ramirez. He is a senior. He is a 3-sport athlete. When do you hear that ever now?
You don't hear that much.
Ever.
So I'm wondering, is it football or basketball?
I don't know. Danny Ramirez,
or wrestling.
He's a senior. He's a 3-sport athlete and one of the hardest workers we have. He is our right forward and is willing to do the dirty work for the team to succeed, never complains, and leads by example.
That's what you want right there.
You got a forward that'll do the dirty work, man, you've gotten something right there. That'll get back and play some D and try to win the ball back.
The forwards typically, they don't go back. Todd will tell you he played he never tracked back past the midfield.
So I'll tell you what, I'll ask him what sports right here, but what sports do you think?
I will say he played football and wrestling.
I want to say wrestling too, because that kind of tenacity at a forward, wrestlers can't turn it off.
No.
They're just
I would say football and wrestling. But while you get that, we've also had Coach Gutierrez from Northwest, who coaches of both boys and girls.
Yeah, he's formulating a text right now, so we'll see if he makes
I can see the bubbles, so the bubbles are still bubbling.
Yeah,
but
he's still percolating there.
He's still percolating.
Is that a thing anymore?
I don't know. But while we're waiting to text of that, we're going to start talking about, right now, Todd and I, while we were waiting off air, or before the show started, we were trying to figure out how many teams have already qualified for state.
And what number did we get to?
I think we got to 11. We got to both. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so Coach McBrayer coming in, and we were right. Football, wrestling, and soccer.
When you said that tenacity and that had to seem like
and it was a forward.
It had to be aggressive. Okay. So while we're waiting that, we're just going to wait on Northwest to come through, hopefully get that. But let's just go back. This year, so far, we've had 11 out of the 16 boys and girls team qualify for the state playoffs. And both Southeast boys and girls, both Northwest boys and girls, both Dalton boys and girls,
Color Creek,
both Coahulla Creek boys and girls. That's 8. Both Christian Heritage boys and girls. Mm-hmm. That's 10. We've got Dalton Academy boys, 11. North Murray and Murray County,
the interesting thing is how they're positioned. If you go and you look at their records, they're both teetering right on that 4-5. So what's going to happen is I think one of them is going to knock the other one out.
I think North Murray girls are technically out right now, but don't.
I think they are too.
Quote is on. We'll have confirmation on next week's show, but the boys,
yeah, we will.
North Murray, and the girls, boys on for both Murray and North Murray, and then the girls still have a chance.
Yeah.
So if we get those 3, that's going to put potentially 14 out of 16 teams in the state playoffs.
Right.
Last year was 15 out of 16.
Yep.
Only one was Dalton, the Dalton Academy Lady Pumas. The year before that, we only had, I think, I can't remember if it was 11.
It's been about this
or 13.
We've been hovering about the same number each year. Which just shows you there's consistency. There hasn't been any drop off. I mean, obviously the product is still out.
There hasn't been a drop off, but can we bring up that segment of the top, how the teams are ranked in the state as well?
Oh yeah. Let's see the state rankings. We can chat about that. Oh, we're just springing this on Clemencia just so we're clear.
Well, I mean, but you said there wasn't no drop off, and that just clicked into my head.
Yeah, so on the girls' side, we still got Northwest, and we talked about this last week with Southeast win when they beat Heritage. That popped them into the top 10. So you got Northwest girls and Southeast both sitting.
And I will put in here, Dalton girls are not ranked, but it's because if you look, they're probably looking at their win-loss, but the losses that they have is against top-notch quality teams, and their ties are against top-notch quality teams. And then on the boys' side, you have 5 teams ranked. Out of 8 boys teams, you have 5 that are ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, and we've had stronger rankings on the boys' side before in terms of like how we've had those same teams ranked higher, but at the same time, this is healthy. I look at Dalton. I think they are underranked from when these teams go to state. I'm telling you right now, they're going to hit harder than those rankings. I believe that.
So we got Dalton ranked number 4.
Specifically,
5A.
I think Creek, Dalton, and Christian Heritage are going to hit harder. Dalton Academy, I think they're about right at number 2.
And what about Southeast?
Oh, they're going to. I'm telling you, they're going to hit somebody hard.
Okay.
I'm telling you that they're underranked.
So there we go. Out of the 16 teams, we have 7 that are ranked in the top 10. And did we get a...
Oh, yes. We got Coach Gutierrez coming in for me. You know what, Coach? Always coming in. I appreciate that.
It may be late, but late is better
than
He
always comes through. So he comes with 2 as coach of the boys and the girls. So we'll get those in right here. On the girls, he's got 2, Sam Lara and Sophia Hargis. My 2 center backs as a team, we love to attack. We use our outside backs to join the attack. So a lot of the time, our center backs are left one-on-one or 2v1, and our center backs do a great job of handling those situations. We trust them in those situations so we can attack with more numbers. And if you've ever went out to a Northwest game, you see that.
So he's playing a la Brazil, like he's like pushing the backs up. All right.
And on the boys' side, Chris Tapia.
I don't know if that's like he's a star on the show.
He is. It's okay. Let's give him some love. Chris Tapia for the boys. He doesn't have great. So I understand he doesn't have great numbers in goals and assists, but he does have a lot of assists, and he has became a leader because we needed him to become one. Does a lot of work defensively, a lot of dirty work, and
he's a bulldog.
If you go out and watch him, the thing he does is he does the dirty work. So he'll go in. Boom, win the tackle.
Yep.
But then the switch flips and he goes creative. right? He'll make that deadly through ball. He'll make that creative play that you need him to. So shout out to Chris.
That ends our Eclipse special. We'll come back with the final segment on Monday Night Football.
My car looks totally ruined. I don't even know what to do.
Locally owned Dalton Collision Center is the only choice when it comes to all of your auto body and refinish needs. Our experienced staff provides quality work from start to finish, will help with your claim, and even assist with getting your rental car. Everything from A to Z.
So you can focus on life, we can focus on getting you there.
We provide an excellent service for individuals who've had catastrophic injury cases. People who've had injuries that are going to last them, unfortunately, for the rest of their life. Being there for a person, being there to actually see them get better, that is what this field is all about. That's what we're really striving to do, and that's what we think we provide. You still have to have that empathy for the person so you can tell their story to the jury. At the end of the day, that's where your case is heard.
This year, Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty is proudly commemorating our 50th anniversary, and what a journey it has been. For 5 decades, Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty has been the heartbeat of real estate in Northwest Georgia.
We've had the privilege of helping thousands of homeowners with their real estate transactions. Thank you, Dalton and Northwest Georgia.
Whether you're buying, selling, or expanding your business, trust the experience that comes with 50 years of excellence. Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Cartersville, Ringgold, and Cleveland, Tennessee.
Hey, welcome back to Monday Night Football 2024 Eclipse Edition. This is the final segment, so let's go ahead and let's get to the soccer games that are going on this week.
Yes.
The soccer games.
Soccer games. First of all.
What's going on there?
No,
we'll get to it.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get to it. We don't know.
Let's go. There we go.
All right, the boys' games. You take.
All right, we got North Murray at LFO. These are all games playing tomorrow. Christian Heritage versus the
Ready, ready or not.
Here I come.
For you kids that don't know, Lauryn Hill used to sing for the Fugees. Look it up.
Back in the day. So Dalton at Heritage, Northwest versus North Paulding, Murray County at Haralson County. I think Dalton at Heritage will go. Murray County versus North Murray, Cahulla Creek versus Central, Northwest at North Cobb, and then Dalton at Southeast.
All right, on the girls' side, Dalton Academy at Unity Christian. That's going on today. April 9th, North Murray at LFO, Christian Heritage at
Fugees.
Dalton at Heritage, Northwest at North Paulding, Murray versus Haralson. And on the 11th, Murray goes to North Murray. Fort Mountain Cup, be there. April 12th, Friday, Creek finishes up with Central. Northwest travels to North Cobb, and El Clasico for all the marbles. It's for El Clasico.
On the girls, this is the girls, but for the boys, is all the marbles.
Oh, sorry. But just be there. This is they drew the first time, so this is still for them. This is for all the marbles.
Yes.
2-3.
And like I said, if the schedule doesn't look correct, just keep in mind this schedule, we made it or we didn't make it. We got all these games when the season started, so there could have been some
in January.
Yeah, so there could have been some shifting around since then. Maybe some games that were supposed to play.
There's been a celestial event since then.
Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dalton boys, aren't they playing Baylor?
That happens Tuesday. So interesting.
So the game, they're not playing Heritage, so they're playing Baylor, and then Dalton girls, I think, are playing Heritage.
Yeah, so Dalton will play Baylor. Interesting enough, Johnson beat Baylor like a couple of weeks ago 4-1, so it'll be interesting to see how Dalton fares, what kind of side they put out against them, right? Because that'll be a common opponent. And then also, we'll see how Southeast goes, not playing a game this week on the boys' side.
But they had 3 games in a row.
They had 3 games last week, so it's not like they've been off.
And then we hopefully we'll have see if we get crowned either a defending Fort Mountain Cup champ or if it's a new champ in North Murray. And then on the boys' side for the Soccer City Cup, do we have a new champion or will it be the same champion that we've had the last 2 years?
Also, I want to see a rematch of that TDA Northwest game. There was a great one last year, so that'll be up at Tunnel Hill
TDA's
this
at
year.
Northwest.
Hey, roll that Hyro goal. Let's see that thing. Hyro, we're going to take care of you right here. Show them what you got. Straight from the power lines. Yeah,
that goal just put him the nail in the coffin.
And with that, put the nail in the coffin of the show tonight. We're going to let Hyro take us out. Everybody have a great night. Get out and watch some soccer. Thank you very much.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Who's up for some football? That's not football. This is football. And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
I'm Waylon. I live in Dalton and I'm the owner of Elite Lineman Training Institute.
And I'm Mitch Sanford with Futbol Bank.
When I left Georgia Power to start my own business, I met with Mitch and told him what we were doing.
I told Waylon, you're the kind of business we want to work with.
We have a very high standard for how we work as a company and especially how we treat our clients. After a very candid conversation with Mitch, we knew we were on the same page.
Today, we're working on several businesses, training and real estate.
Because they do the heavy lifting, so I can focus on my business. My bank is built well.